First game between Happy and Miniraser here at the Zote Cup season final. Starting to the bottom left, we have the former Empire player. It is Happy. Starting here in red as a Terran, of course. Starting to the top right in Overgrowth, our first map in the best of 3 series. We have his opponent, Miniraser, Zerg player. So another Terran versus a Zerg that we are going to see here. And this is going to be quite a lot of fun. Happy, a very, very tough opponent to face. One of the best Terran players that we have in the European scene. Has been playing StarCraft 2 for an eternity. And it's a little bit sad to see that he's not part of Team Empire anymore. Empire is apparently slowly retreating from the StarCraft 2 scene. Legacy of the Void isn't out just yet, but at this point, Happy being a free agent. So we're going to find out how Happy is going to deal with Miniraser here. There's quite a lot of money on the line. We're still in the group stage of the Zote Cup season final. Both players are in Group C and want to advance to the round of 8, which starts tomorrow. And we are gonna find out who will be able to qualify. We have 4 players in total. Tefel and Lil Bao are the 2 remaining ones that currently play their first match as well. And we are gonna find out who's gonna advance to the winner's match here to get a shot of advancing into the tournament. We have already gas taken for Happy. At the same time, barracks at the front, Reaper build for him, at least at the beginning. Finding out what's happening on the map is of course going to be quite important. Overlords are getting into position as well. We have 2 of them currently heading straight to the bottom left. For Miniraser, we have a build where he chose to go into 15 hatch, and so far didn't start the pool, squeezes in a few additional drones, isn't really afraid of Happy going into some kind of proxy build, proxy Reaper, double 11 or anything like that. So he's playing this pretty, not really too greedy, squeezes in the occasional drone and then starts with his spawning pool right in time. So we have pool already started for him. Question of course is going to be whether he starts the gas, which we see here going down right now, or not. Happy is going to be pretty eager to also find out if that's the case. With the speed that you then have, you can of course then also push the Reapers back. You need the double queen at the beginning to make sure that the Reapers won't do any damage here. For Happy, we have set Reaper nearly completed. He gets a Marine right afterwards. And that is where the Overlord needs to be a bit careful where exactly he's getting positioned. Because as long as he's in a position where he can escape to one of the higher plateaus or just like fly somewhere else, he's completely fine. But losing an Overlord in the early stages of the game to a Marine is quite nasty. Like, you never want that to happen. So let's find out how exactly Miniraser is going to deal with it. It already sends the Overlord to the right side. He sees the expansion, of course. We have him with a few Zerglings being built, but there's no early pool. Like, you see other players starting with a spawning pool against Terran and then just trying to get a few Zerglings out at the beginning of the match, sneaking them past the Reaper and attacking the SCV. Miniraser isn't really doing that. He's just using the Zerglings back at home to defend against the Reaper, trying to push him back, making sure that he doesn't lose anything just yet, and of course also trying to just keep the scouting information of the Reaper to a bare minimum. If you can actually kill that off early in the game, that would be absolutely amazing, but Happy's micro should be too good for him to let that happen. He moves in and gets his first and second kill there on the Zerglings, but the Queen's out now, and that's usually the time when the Reapers have to realize, okay, there's nothing really to do anymore. Second gas already taken for Happy, so we're going to see more tech from him and not a third base. He's going to start with a maybe a Banshee. He could also go into more of a Hellbite style, but he's definitely going to start one of the starports here fairly soon and going to start to tech as well. The starport is actually already on the way, and with the barracks in position and the tech lab started, it looks very much like we are definitely going to see the Banshee that I already mentioned. So he's going to go for more of an aggressive build, not trying to get ahead in economy, but really getting the tech out there to put some pressure onto Miniraser, sneak that Banshee into the mineral line, and of course then later on he can use that as well to maybe help against the roach push and things like that. If Miniraser would decide to really go for a bit of a roach bust and maybe use the Balings as well, 1 or 2 Banshees can actually go a long way. You would of course prefer to have the siege tank out there if you scout it early, but if you can't have the siege tank, the Banshee is still a pretty amazing tool that you can use to snipe a few of the Banelings, maybe prevent the bust from really happening, or just put pressure on the roaches if they come in there. The drone is a bit afraid there, the cancel on the extractor, and he has to go for it once again. The Zerglings with speed upgrade won't have a problem chasing that Reaper down though. The only question is if the Reaper is able to reach maybe a high ground position position somewhere, and yeah, that's not really going to be the case. Third base therefore for MiniRaser, and of course Happy is not just idly sitting by and letting that happen. He's trying to just move out with the Hellions and put some pressure on it, but MiniRaser is absolutely ready for him. Already has 3 queens up here at the front, 4 in total for him. We see him at 39 Harvester supply, and those Hellions for Happy, they're still just like scouting the map, roaming the area, trying to maybe pick off a Zergling or 2, or if he's lucky, get into a mineral line and annihilate a couple of the drones. So far everything is like quite normal. We have Cloak started, we have the Banshee on the way. We see for Happy, actually for his opponent, we see already 3 Spore Crawlers started, and one of the Spore Crawlers is in a position where he's just gonna be walking to the left side. Apparently MiniRaser saw, he saw the tech lab at the starport, so he knows exactly what's happening here. That's why we see him with that immediate reaction to start the Spore Crawlers to defend his bases. Also his lair tech is on the way. So far very solid play by MiniRaser. Everything that he wants to do has worked out so far. Now he has to defend against the Banshee though, and the Banshee himself already on 5 kills. So as long as you can move in from a different angle, you might be able to get a few more than that. So the second Banshee is also on the way. MiniRaser is doing this pretty well so far. Double upgrades for him with the Spine Crawl at the front to prevent the Hellions from getting too cheeky. We also have in the main base of Happy double engineering bay now started. And this is a pretty nice task force that we see now for Happy. Happy moves in and he tries to get some queens. That's the first transfuse, and he will get at least 1 queen if he forces it down. He gets the queen. 1 queen is already down. Needs to move the Banshee back, which is exactly what he does. And he already dealt with most of the Zerglings. So job well done. Moves in once more. Needs to be careful with the Banshee here. The Banshee already in full retreat, but we have the Hellions going straight for that mineral line and taking down the Harvesters here. Very well done by Happy, killing 13 Harvesters already of his opponent. Not really losing anything in the process. I think he lost, how many Hellions did he lose? He lost 3, killed 13 of the drones. So job well done. MiniRaser on the other hand, with an Overlord over to the left side and one to the right side of the main base of his opponent, just dropping creep, delaying any kind of attempt at expansion attempt that we could see from MiniRaser. Sorry for Happy, of course. So both of them really doing quite a good job in this early game. MiniRaser with a solid defense, except of course for the Hellions being able to sneak in over here. There was no Spine Crawler, the Zerglings were already dead, and the Hellions of Happy did a significant amount of damage. At the same time though, we still have a 13 Harvester lead, and 12 more drones are now in the making. So we see the Zerg player really trying to just like get once again ahead in economy. We also have him with the debris being bursted down by the Zerglings, the creep being spread on the map to the right side, to the left side, making sure that he has an early warning system against what's happening here and what the Happy could do to him potentially. So up to the top we have at the same time now MiniRaser with the expansion, or with the tech done at the natural. He's going straight into the Baneling Nest and also into the Spire, and Happy is still moving out. He has by now Stim completed, or about to be. He doesn't have the combat shield just yet, but the 1-1 is lining up perfectly with the Stim upgrade. MiniRaser is trying to get another expansion, expanding to the top left, taking his 3rd expansion, his 4th hatch, and losing one of the Overlords. That's actually starting to supply block him. He's looking at a pretty difficult position to hold, since there are already Hellbats and Marines with Stim. And here we go, the Banelings moving in. You need those Banelings to defend, and he kills all of the Hellbats. Really well done by MiniRaser, and he still has the queens there. Well, he lost one of them. He has still 3 to defend, and the Zerglings are closing the distance right now. And yes, he just doesn't have the firepower with all the Marines there to take down the Zerglings. So job well done by Happy, putting some more pressure onto the potential 4th here to the left side of the map. But still, this game is far from being over. MiniRaser is actually in the lead in overall supply. Both players heading straight into the +2/+2. But Happy is really trying to burst this expansion down. He gets that hatch, and yes, there's the cancel on the hatch, and now the queens are exposed. The queens are very much exposed, but he turns around, snipes one of the Banshees, he loses one of the queens, he's gonna lose a second one, is he gonna lose the third? It's gonna be close. Now back on creep, the queen gets a bit of a speed boost. Zerglings down here, we're trying to do some damage, but we already see 1 bunker in position, and that is actually pretty tricky for him to do any kind of damage down there with that bunker in position. So at the same time, we have now the Marines up at the top, getting into the medevac and moving away. Happy deciding that it's time to move back, but the Banshee still doing some damage. I don't know, like I'm always a little bit like curious if it wouldn't be smarter to just move those Banshees away and heal them up, repair them with the SCVs, and then try to sneak in later again. Just maybe park them over there and send them in once the Zerg player attacks. The problem with that, of course, is that by now the tech was already revealed, so it was kind of obvious that there were Mutalisks in the game, and the Banshees don't really survive against those. So you expect them to die anyways, and you just want to trade, get a bit of a decent trade out of it. But it's always kind of sad to not see them being moved back and repaired there. Talking about things that are being moved back, we have a move to the right, one to the left. Happy is trying to hit with a two-pronged attack. Is very much caught off guard up here to the top, where that Medivac doesn't do anything, but maybe the attack towards the left side is a bit more successful. He's trying to move in and take down this expansion, but MiniRaser is playing a very, very solid game, and he already has the 2 to upgrade, so this expansion might fall, but oh wow, those Widow Mines, jeez, no cancel on the expansion. Wow, MiniRaser slipping up a bit, and he doesn't have the Zerglings on the ground to really deal with the Zerglings and then being able to take down the Mutalisks. Happy is expanding again down to the bottom. Nice macro from him here the entire time, attacking, expanding, getting his upgrades up too. So let's see how he's gonna deal with the Mutalisks rushing in again. Ooh, that stim, I didn't like that too much, to be absolutely honest with you. Happy maybe over stimming here a bit. He doesn't have too many Medivacs. Actually, looking at the Medivac numbers, he has 7, but with the army there are only 2. He needs to get the rest over there. Another stim would take those Marines nearly out. Oh, there it is. Happy with a very early stim. Like those Marines, I really don't like it. Just one Baneling, a few Zerglings rushing in could take everything down. He needs to wait a few seconds to heal that up with the rest of his Medivacs. We already have double Medivac being caught completely off guard here to the right side of the map. 2 Medivacs taken out. Even if he loses the Mutalisk here, which he does, it's going to be completely fine since he took down both Medivacs and also quite a few of the Marines. So yeah, MiniRaser getting quite a lot of kills there. We have at the same time, see, 8,000 against 5,000 resources lost in favor of Happy, so he's playing the more cost-efficient game right now. We'll also see another expansion being taken. This time Happy moves towards the gold mineral patches, starts to attack the base up to the top left again. We have over here a small attack, or we had a small attack with another dropship heading towards the main base and being taken out. Things that have been taken out for 200. One hatchery is also eliminated, and now Happy's moving in and starts to clear some creep. He's playing this really well. Like, MiniRaser had a very solid opening, and he was sitting on a position where he still had a very solid ground, like a very good, good economy. He had good tech. But now all of a sudden, Happy is just the one. Oh, nice hits with the Widow Mines. Happy is the one who just pressures him. Happy is the one who makes the moves, the one who is really active on the map in the main base with the drop, with another drop over here. He's losing a lot, but he's still expanding behind this. So it's not like Happy is completely losing his initiative. He's using that time that he has here, that he's buying himself, to just expand again, to get that gold expand, and also to secure it. He has a planetary fortress set up. There are 2 missile turrets in position, and back at home he's making sure that he gets the +3 attack upgrade. He's also making sure that he's getting the +3 armor, a few Thors in there. We have him basically with everything that he needs to meet the aggression of MiniRaser. And the Zerg player is at this point relying heavily on the Mutalisks. 22 of those, with 1 Thor already in the picture and the second one coming, since one of the recent, I don't want to say recent patches, but one of the last patches that Blizzard put out there made sure that the Mutalisks are now being attacked immediately by the Thors. Thors don't prioritize ground units any longer, and that will make it very difficult for the Mutalisks to get close enough to that army. Very nice movements here. Oh, a couple of the Banelings are also taken out by the Marines here. Happy still very, very quick on that stim button. Maybe he's a bit nervous. Drank too much coffee. I can certainly relate. It's already my 3rd cup right now, but still, he's, yeah, very, very... He's a bit fast on the stim, I feel. He doesn't really need to hit it all that often. He does have the Medivac count, so it's not that bad, but the Medivacs are getting a bit low. Here we go again. Uses the stim, moves away, exposes the Thors a bit. Thors are starting to shoot the Mutalisks, and MiniRaser is really starting to drop heavily in supply. As you can see, he's down to 150. He is not really matching the income that we see for Happy. Happy is expanding again, getting another command center. Is active towards the top left with 1 drop, taking out a queen, pushing the base over here. A lot of Banelings are morphing. Oh, MiniRaser could try and move in against this. Another queen goes down, and of course he wants that base. He wants to take down this expansion that would put MiniRaser back to 3 bases. And there it is. The base is annihilated. Now MiniRaser moving in, and he needs to do that. The army supply, on the other hand, is 120 against 60, and things are not really going all that good for MiniRaser. He takes down that army, but he has still to deal with the drop up here to the top left, taking on the drones, killing another base potentially, and of course the reinforcements that we see for Happy are also still in the game. So MiniRaser kind of is forced to do something here to finish the game with what he has, and he realizes that's never gonna happen, at least not on Overgrowth. So we see the GG from the Zerg player, and Happy taking the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series, heading straight into game number 2. Second game in our Terran versus Zerg here at the Zodiac Cup season final. Bottom right we have the Terran player with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here at the first best of 3 in Group C at the Zodiac Cup season final. It is Happy winning the game on the last map, Overgrowth, starting to the top left. We have his opponent, MiniRaser, Zerg player in blue. Needs to win 2 in a row now if he wants to advance to the winners match. And if he takes another dive here and loses one of the next 2 maps, then of course he's not out of the tournament just yet. He will drop down to the losers match, but he still has a chance. So we're gonna find out if that is going to be the case, if we're gonna see a third map, if MiniRaser can win it here and force Happy into a third game, or if the Terran player closes things out with a 2-0 against his opponent and advances then to meet his next opponent, which will either be Tefl or Lil Bao. Zerg versus Protoss is happening in the other game of the group, and once they are done, we'll know who actually is going to take it here. Gas taken, 12 in, like a 12 harvesters, so 12 gas that we are seeing being dropped for Happy. He already showed us the Reaper in the last game, single Reaper into Marine. Not really a big reason to change things up here. We have King Seron Station being the map, and yeah, well, let's see how exactly King Seron Station is going to shape up here. It is in general a map where you can play once again Mirrorless, that MiniRaser already tried to do in the last game. The Mirrorless didn't really do a whole lot for him though. Happy already got ahead before that happened and really pressured his opponent with medivacs everywhere, towards the left, towards the right, and you can do that on King Seron Station as well. What we see quite often here too are Hellbat attacks, like Hellbat timings at the beginning of the game. We saw a similar move by Happy in the last game, not really hitting a super early timing, but attacking with Hellbats, a few Marines behind that, and the only reason why MiniRaser was able to fend that off were his Banelings. You need a Baneling nest to deal with this. We have MiniRaser himself going straight into the 15 hatch again, and then starting things off with the pool and the extractor. So exactly what we've currently been seeing, or what we've seen in the last game, I want to say. For Happy, we saw the expansion and then straight the move into the Banshees with Cloak on second gas. And, well, Happy could do that. He could also just try and go for his third command center a bit faster in this game and change things up a little bit. We don't see any kind of early game shenanigans by either one of these players. Expansion has already been started. With MiniRaser going for the 15 hatch, it also means that he won't be able to sneak any Zerglings past the initial Reaper and try to do some damage over here. And actually, as I say that, the Reaper is starting to have a look over here towards the natural, already forcing one drone into an extractor. He's going to do that again, so Happy or MiniRaser is losing a bit of resources here, not too much. That angry Reaper is just like trying to take down a structure, and then is probably going to get mad that nothing really happens, doesn't even scratch the building. So yeah, that's a bit sad for the Reaper. If I was a Reaper, I would probably just feel so insignificant. Like, how many games have you seen where Reapers at this stage of the game really do anything? Like, you can always, I mean, how does a recruiting talk between a Reaper and a Terran player work? Like, what do you tell the guy? What do you tell the guy that either benefits? Like, oh my god, you're like James Bond, you are in the enemy space, you are there to like find out what he's going to do, and of course the guy that is thinking about becoming a Reaper thinks like, oh my god, sick, I'm gonna get all the hot chicks and I get all the newest toys, and then I can just like kill people, a license to kill. And they're like, yeah, of course you can kill people. and then in the end it turns out that you get like one small gun that doesn't kill anybody, that just like scratches things. You might be able to take down a worker or two, but once you're seeing actual battle, then you're completely useless. So I feel that all those Reaper pilots are feeling a bit cheated there. In the end, they do their job anyways, because that's just like how they are. They're probably German and they have that sense of duty. So we have the Reaper dying for its cause. I mean, if that's not dedication and passion right there, then I don't know what is. But the Reaper is dead. He found out what's happening in the main base though, and that's not a whole lot besides the gas that's been taken there, and that's still being mined. There's no Roach Warren, there's no Baneling Nest, there's no nothing. Just a simple bunker that we've currently seen built at the choke point here down to the bottom of the map. We have triple gas taken though for MiniRaser, and the tech into Leia looks very much like we're going to see that Reaper build that we that Mutalisk build that we've been talking about earlier. To the bottom right of the map, we have Happy on the other hand going again into the Banshee play, also with upgrades here not taken. That means we don't see Cloak for him. It's just like Banshees at the beginning of the match. We have a few Hellions also in the game to push back the creep tumors. Actually, Cloak is taken right now. A little bit delayed, but we have him with a Cloak. And 3 Queens at the front once again trying to force not only the Hellions back, but also make sure that the creep tumors are protected. We have 4 Queens in total, and all of the Queens are out on the map now. He really wants to make sure that there's also no scouting. If those Hellions move into the base, then they see that fast Spire that is currently being built with the lair tech done. So, something that he would like to avoid. Up to the top left, we have MiniRaser with his 3rd base currently started. And here comes the Spore Crawler for the Zerg player, now that he identified that he's up against Banshees. Spore Crawler is going to be there in time to detect the Banshees once they go into cloak mode. Right now they don't even have that, so he doesn't have to worry about it too much. He can just use the Queens to move him back, and that's kind of all that he needs for now. The rest of the Hellions also not quite happy with their life, because they can't really kill anything either. There are always mean Queens that are matching them immediately and pushing them back, but we have the armory being built, and that's Hellion's wet dream come true. Either if you detect a mineral line where there's absolutely no defense and only workers, or if there's an armory so that you can finally become a Hellbat and yeah, kill stuff. We have double engineering bay for Happy, going straight into that for his upgrades. The 7 Mutalisks that are being built for MiniRaser. It's another question if they are really going to do any damage at all with engineering base finishing up and the upgrade started. We should also see a few missile turrets being built in a few seconds. So far the Hellions, and actually their number grew significantly, are on their way up to the top left. And there's some Hellbat action going straight for that base, and that base is gonna be toasted if he wants it. But now with the Mutalisks in the game, that's gonna change. The Mutalisks can actually take that down. Queens are being eliminated, gets the first one, and he's apparently a little bit indecisive what he wants to attack, either the base or he wants to take on the Queens. And whatever he does, I don't think he's gonna get it, because the Mutalisks are already doing too much damage. And yes, the Hellbats don't kill anything, they kill the Queen and that's it. So Happy is down to 50 supply. He's starting to build missile turrets, 3 more constructed in the main base. There's no 3rd base for him. Instead we have an Overlord just shitting creep on the ground and making sure that he cannot like place down a command center. Even if he had one, he doesn't have that. Oh, actually he has the 3rd command center just yet, so sorry. At the same time, we have like the Mutalisks trying to pick off a few of the SCVs. Oh, they actually get quite a lot. Happy is trying to defend his wall to make sure that the Zerg player isn't moving in, and in the process he's starting to lose Harvesters. 14 workers killed against 4. This is getting quite tricky here. I mean, the Banelings are starting to move in right now, busting through, and here come the Zerglings. That's the attack that MiniRaser was preparing, and it's gonna get super tricky for him here to do anything. The first few missile turrets are already gone. The commands that are being lifted on the high ground. It looks like MiniRaser in this game is definitely gonna give Happy a lot of problems. I mean, this game is basically, I don't want to really call it over now, but for Happy it's going to be super difficult to come back into this. He doesn't really have anything to force those Mutalisks on the ground army back. He cannot place down an expansion. MiniRaser is on 3 bases. He's looking at 47 drone supply against 21. He's building up that drone count again, researching speed for the Banelings. Happy is trapped in his own base. He needs that army first. His army supply is at 36 against 49. And, I mean, MiniRaser can do whatever he wants. He even supply point his opponent now. Happy can't build anything. He cannot build more SCVs. He's down to 21. The triple mule helps with that a lot, but there's still very little that he can achieve at this point. We have Happy up at the top with basically just an income problem. He has too much money. He doesn't know what to do with that. He's getting upgrades. Attack upgrade for the Mutalisk. Speed upgrade for the Overlord. Getting 3 more Overlords as we speak and making sure that he's just getting that drone production up to speed once again. With 55, 56 versus 21, he's nearly tripling the amount of drones or workers that his opponent has. So job well done so far by Miniraser. Happy, of course. Happy's one of those guys that just doesn't quit early. He's not pulling off Marine King timings necessarily, but he is just moving out again, setting up his base, and it's this stoic insistence on just continuing down the road that he chose, and he's doing that right now, setting up the Widow Mines, setting up a bit of a trap for his opponent, and just waiting. Miniraser is using the Mutalisk to fly in at his base and trying to do some damage there. He still has a very significant force outside that ramp, outside that choke point. But the only thing right now that there's very little that Miniraser can really do without YOLOing into this position. And he's actually doing it. He's actually just rushing in all the Widow Mines aside. He doesn't really care. And he says, dude, I have the numbers. I don't really care what you have set up there, because no matter what it is, I have so much stuff that you won't be able to beat me. And it looks very much like that's going to be the case, because Miniraser at 104 supply is taking down the natural. We have Happy at 39 supply, just not surviving this at all. That counter aggression up at the top is not doing a thing, especially with the Queens shooting down that Medivac, and the Marines alone. Well, I doubt that they will be able to take down the Queen, since we have now even Zerglings moving in. So this looks very much like game over. Looking at the structure count, we have 2 orbital commands, meaning that 1 was taken out, 1 lost, 4 missile turrets, 7 supply depots have been killed. So that is, yeah, pretty tricky here. I mean, right now we have a situation where Miniraser is tripling the supply that we see for Happy. He's tripling it. And Happy is still just trying to set up a spot here. He's also running out of mineral patches in the main base. That's another thing. On the plus side, he doesn't have the SCVs to mine those anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're talking 9 SCVs against 51 right now. And what Happy is trying to do is use the counter aggression with the Medivac to maybe put a dent into the economy of his opponent. That doesn't work out, so he taps out. It is a 1-1. Miniraser forces the 3rd game out of his Terran opponent. We're going to jump into that 3rd map immediately to find out who is going to take the best of 3. The 3rd and deciding game, Happy going up against Miniraser on Nimbus, and Revolver is just like saying some stuff in Russian and Cyrillic, and I cannot read that stuff. So I have absolutely no idea what Revolver just said. Whatever it is, Happy and Miniraser are going at it once again. It is game number 3 in the series. It is the last game in the series. The winner goes to the winner's match, the loser to the loser's match. Duh, Captain Obvious striking again. To the top left we have Happy in red, the Terran player. And up to the top right it is Miniraser falling behind in the series on the first map, Overgrowth, and then on map number 2, King Saren Station, he was able to take it. So he took the game, and let's see who's gonna take it right now. Overlord's already getting in position, 1 flying to the top left, Happy this time at the front with the barracks again. That's the beautiful thing about Nimbus. If you want to get an early expand, you can. It's the Obama map. It's the yes you can map, because that expansion spot is up here. And guess what? That small choke point over there is securing both of them, at least against ground units. So that's what Happy can do here. He immediately closes the wall with 2 buildings. You don't even need 3 for that. So he's going for it, and we will see an expansion fairly soon, but not without gas taken to get the Reaper first. So he's still applying some pressure here. Most Terran players would just throw down the command center as soon as they can. To the right side of the map we have Miniraser with his hatch. Hatch first for him. And spawning pool once again a bit delayed to get those additional drones out. The Reaper is gonna start moving to the top right. I guess he saw the Overlord. Yes, by now he definitely saw the Overlord. I mean, that Overlord is not gonna get away without being scouted. So Happy will know where his opponent spawned, or won't he? The Overlord is there, so with the Overlord positioning, okay, yeah, he rerouted the SCV immediately when he saw that and went up to the top right, and let's, yeah, check that out. At the top right we have currently, well, expansion taken. By the way, MiniRaser taking that on the high ground too. You will see some Zerg players that are going to get it right over here, spreading the creep a bit faster to the choke points so that they can block it with a double queen, of course. On the other hand, we have now the bunker started, and there it is, and the chances of this bunker actually doing something, well, now that the Zerglings are being produced, it actually could go through, and that could get nasty. There comes a Spore Crawler that he's building. Is he gonna lose one of the Harvesters? Happy is starting to do a bit of damage here. He gets one of the No, he doesn't get it! Wow! That was a bit unfortunate. Oh, the SCV! No! 13 hit points missing. Oh god, like look at all those Harvesters over there, the drones and the red. Happy doesn't get a single kill out of this. Or did he? Did he get anything? He got one drone, but that's it. Double Reapers there, and like how annoying must that be? Like if you actually finish a bunk up to like 10 hit points, and then you have that problem. This is a bit sad for Happy. For MiniRaser is of course like great. The micro that you showcased there was excellent. Able to survive with all of his harvesters except for one, taking out that bunker there eventually. It's got to be cancelled, of course. But good job so far by MiniRaser, and as I say, he loses another harvester. The aggression, 3 Reapers by the way. The aggression that we've seen did not really do a whole lot for Happy though. Like, okay, the problem that we have here is that Happy did opt for gas instead of going straight into this expansion. On the map like this, you can get that expansion very early in the game, just because you only have to defend one choke point, so it's an option that a lot of Terran players will use. Happy decided to not do that at all, and instead go into triple Reaper. And with triple Reaper, you need to do damage. It's an investment. You delay your economy, you delay your expansion, and you invest into gas, so you harvest more gas than minerals at the beginning of the match. And Happy didn't really kill a whole lot. 2 Zerglings and 2 drones is not really something to write home about. You're not gonna write a letter to your mom and tell her that you killed 2 drones and 2 Zerglings today, and she's probably just gonna ask you then, well, that's all? Like, really? You didn't kill more? You had 3 Reapers and that's all that you got? Really? And yeah, you don't want to be a disappointment to your mom, so you won't tell her about that. You will just like try to get ahead in the game afterwards. I mean, at least he killed those 2 drones. That was important, but it's not really enough to make up for the delay that he went for there. So at this point, we have to the left side of the map, we have the expansion now for Happy, but looking at the harvester count, it's 26 against 35. The Reapers are still in the area, trying to be a bit of a nuisance, and the third base for Happy is also about to be done here with the upgrade to the orbital command. We have still 2 bases for MiniRaser. He's currently just like saturating his 2 mineral lines, and of course also getting the tech into a hatch. As you can see, we have him with 4 gas, indicating that we're going to see that tech on the Spire again. That was successful for him in game number 2. Reapers and Hellions this time, and if they could take a run up and just bust through those 2 queens, they would definitely do that. So the queens are, well, okay, they're guarded by another one, so that should be enough to go for that. Enough energy, I mean, to like go for like getting the transfuses in case there is going to be some kind of aggression. Yeah, sometimes I have a thought in my head and I thought I sounded it out properly and then didn't, so I think I'm getting old. Oh, there we go. The queen at the front, there's the transfuse. He's actually gonna take that fight. Wow, that's the last transfuse that, no, he has 2 more transfuses, okay. He has 2 more transfuses. He's trying to kill at least the drone there. Happy needs to be careful, like he's losing a bit of ground with this. And if he loses more of his units, that would be unfortunate. He lost 3 of his Hellions. Is he gonna lose the Reapers too? Yep, loses 1, and he killed the Harvester, didn't he? Yes, he killed the drone, so at least he got the drone and delayed the expansion for a few seconds. If that's really worth losing one of the Reapers, I mean, that's something that he has to decide. Killing that Overlord, on the other hand, that's something where, the Overlord is not gonna bite back. Like, I've never seen an Overlord attack anything, so I don't think we're gonna start now. Maybe in Legacy of the Void, there's gonna be some kind of thing. Those Overlords all went to anger management, like, treatment, because, like, at some point they were all so mad that they were constantly killing stuff. And they were attacking probably Zergs, and they all had to go to anger management. Kerrigan was quite upset with them, and after that the therapy was quite a success. So now Overlords are very docile and they don't do anything. Maybe in Legacy of the Void they will let the rage live up again, and we are going to see some kind of suicide Overlords that just like fly into things and kill them. I'm personally still a fan of the bumper Overlord that just bumps things away. We don't see that. I don't think Blizzard thinks it's a good idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. It would be absolutely funny to see that, but well, you can't have it all. So MiniRaser on 92 supply, being supply lock by the way, which also, well, allows him still to get a few of the Mutalisks that he is now sending out. Oh, to snipe maybe one of the Medivacs, not quite, but he got him low. It has to deal with Happy's attack here. Yep, gets the Medivac, and that's of course what you want to take out right now, because Happy is someone who's very, very trigger happy when it comes down to the T button. No name puns intended. But if MiniRaser is able to snipe those Medivacs, then of course the Marines won't be healed up anytime soon, and that is then gonna be a bit scary for Happy. Army supply 50 against 39, harvester count ahead for the Terran player. And up here the attack with the Mutalisk. Down here we have a few Marines rushing in, so MiniRaser is trying to give Happy a taste of his own medicine, just like hitting him wherever he can. Up to the right side we have an expansion attempt now. That is base number 4 for MiniRaser. I'm not sure if he spotted. I think he saw the Medivac heading over there. He doesn't really know where it is, but now he knows, and that's a significant amount of Mutalisks that we see there. So what do you want to get against Mutalisks if you're a Terran player? And oh wow, 2 Mutalisks taken out for that? Ooh, that hurt. Well, you want to have Thors. We don't see Thors just yet, but I'm sure that Happy is already thinking about it while he is attacking up to the top with the Marines, going straight for it. Oh, the Mutalisks. Like, you need ground support for Mutalisks. Oh, those stims. Like, there are no Medivacs with this. Happy. He's going to lose everything here, isn't he? Yes, he is. He kills a couple of the Mutalisks, but he doesn't really make up for what he loses there, or does he? He's still ahead in overall supply. Like, it's 95 against, well, now it's 100. But still, resources lost, 2,700 against 2,800. Not quite sure if Happy is, well, if you should have lost all of this. The problem is really that he doesn't have the Medivac count. He lost that Medivac earlier, then they only had a single Medivac left for the heals, and that didn't really help him. To the left side with an Overlord moving back now as well. That Marine is super angry and is trying to kill him. Probably gonna succeed too. Yep, that one's down. But we have that 4th base still secured. He has that 4th. Thing is though, we have another drop down here, and if that drop moves in with the stim, I guess he's going to be able to burst down that 4th base. Talking about bursting things down, up to the top we have him now taking out a few supply depots. The Mutalisk Flower, Power Flower is real, taking that on now as well. The Medivac is actually sneaking past, sneaky, 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 while we have that 4th base eliminated, and the Medivac heading into the main base, trying to annihilate the Queen. We have that Medivac up here at the top, taking one Queen out already, and going straight for the, well, for the Spine Crawler and for the base. Like, he's actually pressuring this hatch. He might get it here. Nope, the Transfuse is gonna save the base, at least for now. The Marines are gone. The Medivac in the main base has done some damage and is retreating now. 8 Harvesters killed against 5 in this game so far. Both players trying to hit the economy, but the defense has been strong. 1-1 upgrades for MiniRaser. He's behind. Happy already has those upgrades. He's heading into +2/+2, and that's of course when it starts to become a bit scary. Also scary is a triple drop that is going to hit your base that is already low in HP, and with low we are talking 300 hit points here. So if he is going to take that down, if he tries to burst here, then it's gonna, yeah, it's definitely gonna fall. But he's going for the Harvesters first, and the Harvesters actually are fighting here to buy some time. That Spinecrawler is also gone, and he's just focusing down the expansion for now. He gets the expansion, of course his units are gonna be cleared up in the end. Doesn't even try to save the Medivacs, which I find a bit weird, but it was probably just focused to the attack to the right. Oh, killing one of the Mutalisks, that was good. And there's the GG, as MiniRaser just doesn't have it anymore. He's down to 44 Harvesters, he's running out of gas, and it doesn't really look like Happy is going to stop that. So MiniRaser has taken a bit of a pounding there, with Happy taking out his 3rd base. The Zerg player was down to 2 bases, and he realized that he wouldn't be able to build another one. The Terran player still on 3. So good job by Happy here. Not really a big massive engagement that we saw, but Happy just with very smart movements on the map with good drops, putting MiniRaser in a position where the game was unwinnable for the Zerg player any longer. So good game, and Happy advancing to the winners match of the Zoting Cup Season Final Group C.